F7th Funk Pentatonic Improv. Here's the comping. Core melodic rhythm is the 1, 2, or 3 locations in a bar that are the basis of the rhythm, a basic rhythmic theme. So on this, if you look at the comping part on the top, see my cursor, I determined that the core melodic rhythm for this is the and of 4 here. As you see below, it's marked core melodic rhythm and of 4, the plus after 4. And beat 2 here, and beat 3. Then in the next bar, here again there's a chord on the and of 4, and there's a chord on 2 and a chord on 3. And these things are reinforced in the arrangement that you hear as the backing track. Whether melody is composed or improvised, there's a order of melodic importance, beginning usually with the chord tones. So I'm representing the core melodic rhythm with the root of the chord, then I'll do it with the minor arpeggio and the minor 7th arpeggio. Here's the root, playing the core melodic rhythm. Next in the order of melodic importance are the tones of the minor arpeggio. This backing track is based on F7th, which is basically F major, yet in some of the parts like here, there's a flatted third, so it's a hybrid really of major and minor. This chord shows major in the bass, 1 and 3, and from the bass to the treble there's a sharp 9 or flat 3, which makes it sound minor. So this is minor and this is major. So this song, like a lot of funk music, is a hybrid of the two. So I'm using the F minor arpeggio, and you can see it in the row of diagrams at the bottom toward the right, the center to the right. And the Roman numeral 8 means the top fret is the 8th fret, and here are 1, 1, flat 3, 5, 1, flat 3, 5, the F minor arpeggio. Here's that against the backing track, as you can see on the bottom staff of the music notation above. Next in the order of melodic importance are the tones of the F minor 7th arpeggio, and you can see that in the bottom row of diagrams, the second from the left, F minor 7th at the 8th fret, with tones 1, F at the 5th string 8th fret, 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, and here's that against the backing track. Microtonal bends. Microtonal bends are quarter tone bends, or anywhere from 20 to 90% from a fretted note to the note a half step higher. So for instance here, if you look on the 4th diagram on the bottom row, and by the way, earlier in the video, the Roman numerals on the last 4 diagrams here, I think, were incorrect. They've now been corrected. So F minor pentatonic plus 3 or add 3 on this middle diagram here has 3 on the 2nd string, and that's the 2nd string 10th fret, and flat 3 on the 9th fret. If you bend flat 3 toward 3, it's a microtonal bend without bending all the way to 3. That's a microtonal bend. And then playing on a minor chord, F minor, you would tend to leave that closer to 20%, a very slight bend, 20, 30, 35%, to suggest major yet not get close to the major note so it sounds out of tune. If I went way up close to the major, it sounds awful, as you can hear, against the minor. And I would want to do it more slightly. Very slight bend. If I'm playing against a major chord, I can go closer to the major third. Yet I might not want to go 95% to the note because it would sound out of tune, slightly flat. So it's better to leave it slightly flat, but close to the major third if you want a bright mood. And for a bright mood, you bend closer to 90%, and a darker mood, you bend closer to 20 or 30%. So here are the microtonal flat 3s, and the symbol for them in the music notation is a symbol that looks like a Nike logo or a sickle. You can see it right here in bar 20. And on the upper octave, you can see it, the last note in bar 20. And in music notation, the tablature shows those with a 1/4, an upward curved arrow with 1/4, meaning a half of a fret, a quarter tone. A fret and pitch is a half step, so a quarter tone would be half that much. So here's that, the microtonal bends, and they're being played on F minor 7th, and the microtonal bends are on the flat third, this flat third, and this flat third. Here it is against the backing track. By default, microtonal bends should be gradual like this, rather than quickly, because they can't be recognized so easily when they're quick. Gradually, you have a longer period of time to notice the pitch change. Chromaticism has been used in jazz, and before it ragtime, and before that it was in 19th century classical music. And composers in Eastern Europe, particularly in Russia, like the Czech Julius Fujik, that's Thunder and Blazes, his piece that's a circus song, and Rimsky-Korsakov's Flight of the Bumblebee, and pieces by Chopin and Tchaikovsky use chromaticizing. Then in turn, the ragtime jazz composers like Eubie Blake and Scott Joplin used chromaticizing, being influenced by the 19th century composers. And jazz players that followed, jazz piano players like Thelonious Monk, studied 19th century classical music and picked up chromaticizing from that. Here is flat 3 before 3, and the convention has been established from ragtime and forward of playing flat 3 before 3 even when you're descending. If you look at the middle diagram in the bottom row here, F minor pentatonic plus 3 plus natural 3. When you ascend, you'd play 1, flat 3, 3, 4, 5. Notice there's a 3 on the 4th string and the 5th string. It's just options. 1, flat 3, 3, 4, 5. flat 7, 1. When you descend in ragtime tradition, you still put the flat 3 before the 3. 1, flat 7, 5, 4, flat 3, 3. It's out of order of pitch, but establishing the convention of lower chromatic embellishment. So 3 is being preceded by flat 3 that leads up to it. Here are a couple of examples of flat 3 before 3. And now notice on the upper left that in the music notation, between the music notation and the tablature, there's a row of fingers, my suggested fingering for your fretting hand, and a row of scale tones such as flat 3, 3, flat 7, 1. And here's the first example. Sharp 4, flat 5 chromatic. This can be used a few different ways. Look at the diagram in the bottom row, the third one from the right. F minor pentatonic, add 3, add sharp 4. And that says a sharp 4 between 4 and 5. It could also be called flat 5. If I ascend on the 5th string from 1, 1, flat 3, I'm leaving the 3 out for now. 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5. It's called sharp 4 when you ascend between 4 and 5, and flat 5 when you descend. Descending, it'll be called flat 5, flat 5, 4. So 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, or 5, flat 5, 4, flat 3, 1. In melody, it can be used as that, passing in between the 4 and the 5, going up or down. Or you could use it by itself, as you see on the first example at the upper left. It's a lower chromatic embellishment to the 5. Sharp 4 going up to 5. The last 3 notes of bar 34 right here use it as flat 5, a darkened scale note, as if you're playing the scale minor pentatonic 1, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 7, 1, a minor pentatonic with a flat 5. So that's a darkened scale note and doesn't use the 5. It's just a flat 5 instead. Here's the first example. F major pentatonic with flat 3 option. The next to the last diagram on the bottom row here is F major pentatonic at the 10th position. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1 in the key of F. And the diagram on the right shows that with added flat 3s. There's F major pentatonic 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 with flat 3 instead, or with both using the flat 3 as a passing chromatic 1, 2, flat 3, 3, more properly called sharp 2, 1, 2, sharp 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, and descending 1, 6, 5, 3, flat 3, 2, 1. In the example above, in the notation, again, the numbers are shown below the standard music notation for fingers in the top row and for scale tones in the bottom row. And you can see in the first bar, this bar 46, there's a flat 3 on the third beat, and that's here on the third string, 13th fret. Beginning the next bar also, and in the bar that follows, flat 3 precedes 3, so that's a lower chromatic embellishment like we did earlier. And in bar 48 here, there's a lower chromatic embellishment again, 5, flat 3, 3. And here's the whole example. Thanks for listening and looking. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so below. And you could also ring the bell so you get notifications. Thank you.